Good evening, everybody. I'm back. Yay, it's about time. This is my co-host for the evening, Zeno. I don't know if you guys know him or not, but you may learn to like him a bit. You can say hello, Zeno.
Oh, I can. Hello, everybody.
You're allowed to talk.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Amit. Hi, Morg. It's nice to see you guys again. It's been a while. Um, Lots of shit has happened. Hello, the cool guy. I have no idea who you are, but hi. So
Hello, cool guy.
this is
He looks
so
familiar.
weird.
He looks familiar. I
It
think I
is
know.
really weird to be back streaming and to actually not just be sitting on a panel show talking about the daily news. As much as I love sitting with George and talking, this is really kind of strange. So,
Which one is George?
George Peter Gatzos.
Oh, yeah, the
Oh,
comic creator. Yeah,
the blue guy.
the blue guy.
The
The blue
blue
Muppet.
guy. Yes. Every night, 10 o'clock over on George's channel, he has a new sort of like a news of the day roundup show where we make snarky comments and try to be erudite. So if you haven't checked it out, you should. And
Yes,
it would be
he's
lovely
amazing.
if Ishra joined us. I
My
haven't
God,
seen Ishra in a while.
you talk a lot, Vicky. I
I don't
can't get
talk
a word.
enough.
I can't get a word in edgewise.
Well, you have to try, Zeno. Interrupt me. Talk over me. It's okay. So
Okay,
go
let's do it.
ahead. All
All
right.
right. Yeah.
Um, I'm going to start off with a little bit of CG stuff just to get it out of the way because it's not something we plan on focusing on. Um, I don't I don't even remember which order I put these in. So, um, we are back to talking about the Liberty Distribution Spencer swindle. Now, I'm calling it a swindle. That is my opinion. You guys can watch my video that is here on the channel and see if you agree. For those who don't know, like the cool guy who probably wasn't around, Liberty Distribution is run by a guy by the name of Varian Grant. And Varian Grant got 9 different creators to print up 3,000 books each, with the promise of a huge contract with Spencer's Gifts. Now, it turns out that contract seems to have been completely and totally non-existent. He even got these guys to go to New York with him to sign an extension on the contract that was going to make them hundreds of thousands of dollars each. A lot of these guys spent a shit ton of money. Some of them, I would say it was in the tens of thousands of dollars for these guys. Some of them remastered their books, so they spent money on their artists and and that's not cheap. And like I said, they printed up 3,000 books each at their own expense that were sent to Varian claims they were picked up by the distributor, and then eventually they were brought back, but it turns out that the books never actually moved. Yeah, the first stream about this was on Black Rose Comics channel, and Matthew Fowler, oh hail Matthew Fowler, um, really put Varian under a microscope. But what also happened was Varian, oh for goodness sakes, Varian talked with Dojo Kun Comics.
I'm gonna have to kill that dog.
That's fine.
Excuse me.
It's okay if it barks. Dojo Kun Comics is a certified fraud examiner, and Varian passed along what he claims were paperwork, bits of the contract, an NDA, all sorts of things to Dojo Kun, wanting Dojo Kun to basically clear his name. 2 streams later, my video later, and Dojo Kun came to the conclusion that Varian had basically scammed these people out of their money. Well, it seems Varian wasn't very happy with that because he sent Dojo Kun Comics last week a cease and desist order. This is probably the only time Varian actually contacted an attorney despite his claims otherwise. So Dojo Kun did a short little video saying that he'd gotten this cease and desist, going ahead, walking back, because they required him to, walking back his conclusion that Varian had scammed these people. And he took down all of the videos he had on his channel relating to this, and even took down this video about the cease and desist order, which seems a little overkill, but I understand why he did it. What happened to Dean? Dean is over on Saggy's channel now, Jabba. Other than that, we're not going to get into it. So the cease and desist came down, but it turns out that's not all Varian did. Varian also called a Dojo Kun's work.
Why is Varian cease and desisting on this guy?
Because Dojo Kun came to the conclusion that Varian is nothing but a scam artist. And that I'm
he exposed him.
He exposed him. I'm thinking Varian thought he could snow a certified fraud examiner who works with the federal government. I don't know how exactly, but I'm guessing that that's what he thought would happen. Around the same time, after he attempted to cancel Dojo Kun in real life by contacting his employer, he posted this to his Facebook. After being canceled, I'm now being accused of trying to cancel someone. Let me be clear, I had no part in that at all. Now, Dojo Kun was contacted by an attorney on the behalf of Varian Grant, and attorneys don't just do shit like that out of the blue. So his attempt to claim that he didn't have anything to do with it is beyond a lie. And I don't think that Dojo Kun would be lying about his work being contacted. But yes, grifter's gonna grift. The saddest part about this is actually when you get down, well, one of the saddest things about this is nobody in the upper echelons of Comicsgate touched this story, right? Bancroft talked about it on his stream, but nobody else did. It was like, sweep this shit under the rug because heaven forfend, we give the SJWs something to point at and say, see, this is some bullshit. Comicsgate is some bullshit. Because they didn't want, I guess they didn't want all of Comicsgate to be tarred with the Varian Grant scammer brush. Varian and his wife didn't actually show up into Comicsgate until she wanted to crowdfund her book. So, you know how that all goes. But then, in the comments of this post, there's JDA offering his support to Varian and calling me crazy, which I may be. Whatever.
Oh, no.
I know.
That's not good.
The guy who scammed tens of thousands of dollars out of Comicsgate getting little ass pats by a Comicsgate creator is quite fascinating, actually. That's all I'm going to say about him. That's it. Next up, the Salamandroid mug. Have you guys seen this thing? I think he's selling them for $25 plus shipping. And I hate to tell Kevin that he probably shouldn't be drinking from it.
That is the hideous thing I have seen all week.
Yeah. Now, you can't put it in the dishwasher. You can't put it in your microwave. And it tells you not to get any hot water on the outside surface of the mug.
So how do you wash it?
In cold water, I suppose.
Cold
So,
water definitely kills all the germs. Yes.
yeah, you know how you do that? How sometimes, like, you're carrying your mug through the house and it sloshes over the rim a little bit, and you, like,
Oh
maybe
man.
use your finger or lick the mug to get it
Sure,
off before
accidents
it makes
happen.
a
I mean,
huge, huge mess. Don't do that with your Salamandroid mug.
so don't get any liquid on the outside, including saliva. So basically,
It
you're gonna
says
have to use a
boiling water
straw.
or hot
You're gonna
liquid.
have to use a straw to drink it because your bottom lip touches a mug when you drink, right? So use a straw,
Well, it
everybody.
does it does say hot, boiling water or hot liquids, and so, yes, it is strictly a decorative thing. I certainly wouldn't recommend drinking out of it, but your mileage
How is it
may
decorative when it's butt ugly?
um,
It doesn't even look like salamandroid.
I
Looks
guess it
like
kinda looks like
looks like a
Salamandroid.
baby salamandroid or
Well, I mean,
salamander.
Salamandroid was a baby at one point, right?
Why make salamandroid? Wouldn't cyber maybe a
I don't know, how
frog
would
was
you
better perhaps?
Cyberfrog's
Maybe
not exactly suited shape-wise for a mug, I suppose. Like, Salamandroid's a little bit better. Um,
maybe a
I
heather
can't
mug.
a big, huge, ginormous ceramic mug with some fresh, art on it would work too.
Why a mug?
Because tchotchkes sell?
Why does Ethan want his customers to drink the brains of salamandroid?
Well, I mean, that thought is actually kinda cool, honestly.
No,
It's
don't
just
kid.
I'm not impressed by the execution,
It
but
looks like it looks that picture. It looks like something made for a toddler that you would find in Target in the baby section at a Target or Walmart.
it does kind of, yeah. Um, and last but not least, I forgot to put this in my um, little folder here. Oh, whoops. Here we go. That's not the one I wanted either. God damn it. Oh,
For
anyway.
sure,
Yeah, I know. I'll figure it out. It's been a while.
gonna beat all
It's
those
been
get
way
all the
too
kinks out of the
long.
show and whatever.
Oh,
Nobody cares.
way too many kinks. It's been way too long. I
Nobody's
even
watching.
I even forgot to tweet the damn thing out. That's how far behind I am.
Well,
I
go ahead
know.
and do it now.
I
I'll wait.
did. I did.
Oh,
Of course
okay,
you'll
good,
wait. You have no
good.
choice.
What do you mean?
You have no choice but to wait.
I could leave if I wanted to.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can. But would you?
No, I have nothing better to do.
Anyway, so let me find this damn thing. Window here. So, in case you guys didn't know,
Good job.
I did it. Um, Apparently, I am now an Amber Heard simp, and I am trying to get that Umbrella Guy's comic taken down, and he comes to this conclusion because of this DM here, right? By this person named Lucky. And
Lucky.
Lucky's, and I'm assuming Lucky's a woman. I just sent that at Vickyverse account a DM asking her to report and gave her the timestamp and link because it's right before mine. He shows a bunch of rotten comments people left for her on his crowdfunding page. He's literally getting support solely for the hatred at women, as if we didn't already know that. But that makes it abundantly clear. Now, I did get a DM from Lucky, and Lucky did send me a time-stamped link to one of Tug's streams. I never even bothered to watch. It's Tug, right? I'm used to Tug just saying complete and total bullshit about me. He has a book to sell, and he's decided that he's going to sell it with two forms of outrage: the outrage over Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and the outrage over the woman who, quote, attempted to swat him even though I'm not in jail. Because, if I'd attempted to swat him, I would assume there'd be a police report, that he'd have some sort of proof,
Oh, and you would
something.
have been arrested,
I would
right?
have been
Yeah.
arrested, right? I'd be sitting in a jail in fucking Tennessee right now.
Public
And
record. Anybody can look it up.
anybody want to go try and hunt that public record down? Maybe send a Freedom of Information Act request to the local police station, see if I did it, because I can't be asked to, to take the time to do it. It's just not that important. And then, but the next comment in this DM group is, I'm not sure what that Vicky did, because that whole comic fandom drama is super problematic. And even that dude he threatened is a major douchebag. He's talking about Spectre. But in the end, it doesn't matter, because Tug is even more of an asshole and doesn't deserve a platform.
Excuse me. I thought we discussed this, and I was going to read the second part.
Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't. I totally forgot, co-host. I apologize.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't
Right.
do anything with it. Apparently, Tug is telling everybody I did. I did a Tug video a few weeks ago, and the Tug tards are still in the comments reeing over it. If you guys want to go take a look, it's there. It was. I've watched Tug for years, and what he does, he has this subtle form of lying and misdirection that he uses. Well, hello, Charles Santino. It's nice to see you. And he likes to get non-specific, right? So my video is about how he was talking about how that Eve Barlow chick got kicked out of the courtroom. And in reality, she was kicked out of the courtroom because she'd been using her phone and tweeting from the gallery, which is against all the rules. And he tried claiming it was because of some, quote, falsified evidence. Now, the chick that was on the stand, Eve Barlow, I guess, passed her phone over to Amber Heard's lawyers. They shared an old Instagram post that alluded to the fact that she had been watching the trial. She was talking about the UK trial, but watching the trial. So the judge stopped the proceedings, asked the witness if she'd been watching any of this current trial, and she said yes.
And out she went.
Out
Bye
she
bye.
went, because that is also against the rules. So they had a little hearing about it. Johnny Depp wanted Eve Barlow kicked from the courtroom. And the judge actually paid very little attention in the transcripts to the weird Instagram message that had been passed along, and was mostly concerned with the fact that the woman had watched the testimony and that Eve Barlow was tweeting from the courtroom. So I did a little video about it, pointing that out and how Tug was actually kind of full of shit. And they have been ringing in the comments for 3 weeks, including one who I think before she timed out before the stream even started, they left a comment that I never even saw.
Oh, what a pity.
Gosh darn. But that same person was demanding an explanation from me. And I'm like, well, she sent me a DM. I didn't do anything about it. No, you need to explain. Well, she sent me a DM and I didn't report it. So what else is there to explain? Damn it, you need to explain to me how this, and like, I'm not in this stupid Amber Heard DM group. Like, I'm not doxing my DMs to satisfy some tugtard. I don't share my DMs with like one notable exception, and that was Testify. 2, JDA as well. After he released part of our DMs, I went ahead and I released like a much completed section that gave context. But I don't do that. I'm not showing us, all of the DMs that I share with people or the DM groups I'm not in, because I'm not in any. I think they're evil.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah. They're horrible.
Sketchy things go on in DM groups all the time.
DM groups are the worst things in the world. If you're in a DM group, get the fuck out. Like, they just become this strange, weird little echo chamber,
Go out silently, otherwise they'll retaliate.
The people that don't agree with what's being said just don't come back to the group. They'll stay in the DM group, but they don't come back. They never comment. They're not going to have they're not going to argue with anybody. That's just what they do. And so they become these weird hug boxes where everybody seems to agree. And then eventually they all just start bitching about one single thing over and over and over again. So, hello, SJW Captain America. It is nice to see you. He says Maddie is going to have to look for the next grift after the Amber Heard shit is over. Yeah, he will. It'll be interesting to see what it'll be. I have a feeling he's going to try to slide his way on over into this Marilyn Manson thing, whatever's going on with that. Because he's all about the men's rights.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Never mentions, anything outside of Johnny Depp when it comes to men's rights, really. He never discusses the Duluth model, which is the thing that really screws up our entire system when it comes
Todd's
to
audience seems to
battery.
be consisted of mostly bottom feeders of the internet, dregs of society that feel they're entitled to an explanation, especially you, Vicky, for all the bad things you supposedly did, because Tug says so, and they believe Tug without question, because Tug sounds so nice.
Yes.
He's such a nice man.
He is such a nice
man. These people have no power.
He would never tell a lie. He would never tell people, for instance, that he diagnoses mental health for a living when he doesn't hold a single professional license in the state of Tennessee that would allow him to do so. Tug would never do that.
So he's not licensed for therapy or
no.
Or to,
well, I mean,
he
doesn't need to be licensed to receive therapy.
Well, that goes without saying. He definitely probably should take advantage of that.
The cool guy says Tug is swinging on Rekieta's nuts. I mean, he tried. He's been he's been streaming on his own instead of streaming with Nick Rekieta. I guess he took one look at all those super chats Nick was getting and thought, hey, I can get in on that shit too. I don't think it's working out too well for him. But what I did notice is when Tug was on Rekieta's stream, there was maybe one or two of Rekieta's fellow attorneys, the law tubers that would show up. One of them was the guy from the Vic case whose name just Ty Beard, right? Ty Beard showed up
Mhm.
once.
Sure.
But he's buddies with Tug because of the Vic thing, and one other guy. But none of the other attorneys showed up until Tug left. Like as soon as Tug left the stream, the other guys would show up.
Well,
And
that's
now
that's
that
interesting.
and
Interesting. It,
now that Tug is
um,
not streaming with Ricada, he's got usually 2 or 3 other attorneys on the stream with him.
do you think those attorneys didn't want to be seen with someone like Tug?
He didn't have much to offer aside from gossip.
Yeah. Yeah. It seems that Ricada prefers to have professionals on his stream, people who are knowledgeable of the subject they talk about.
I think Ricada likes Tug, so he'll let Tug ride his nuts. But
But during this Amber Heard trial, watching a trial, you don't need Tug there. Tug's not going to
yeah.
offer anything. He doesn't really know much of the trial.
Yeah, I don't
He doesn't.
well, he knows a
He
lot
doesn't know
of
the law.
he doesn't know the law, that's for sure. He knows about what happened with the other trial. He's read all the legal papers and stuff like that. I'm not sure he quite understands all of it. He seems to think that putting together a witness list uh, where a address and phone number is required by the court is doxing. So I don't know. I don't know. You know, it's kind of crazy. I don't really give a
He's Tug
uh,
is a sensationalist,
yeah.
coming on to say that you, of all people, are a part of this group of Amber Heard super fans, and you're trying to get him taken down. It's like either he's crazy and he thinks everything's a conspiracy, or he's just lying to everybody
Yeah.
for attention and money. No, it can't be either one of those. No, it has to be something else.
Well, thank you very much, PR Memo. It's nice to be back, actually. I feel rusty as shit, but and can no longer navigate StreamYards on my own. But I'm getting there. Um, yeah, and I was going to say something. Um, but yeah, so apparently I'm just some sort of Amber Heard stand who's in with the group of Amber Heard stands trying to take him down. And yeah, I don't give a shit if Tug is on the internet, frankly. I don't care. Um the shit he says about me, whatever. It sells his book, his writer, artist, editor, colorer, you know, the one guy that actually puts together his books is going to get paid. So sell your book on my back. I don't care. Um, it's sad.
Looking at your history on the internet clearly shows you're nothing but about Amber Heard and her side of the story.
Yeah, I don't give
All
a
you talk about is the case
I know. I
every
don't
single day.
every day I'm tweeting about it. I'm
Yeah.
doing endless videos and live streams. I don't give a shit what happens one way or another in that case. I don't care if Johnny Depp wins. I don't care if Amber Heard wins. Actually, no, let me take that back. I want Amber Heard to win just so I can watch Tug freak the fuck out and read. That's that's like the only reason I I would want one side to win over the other. I think they're both um
They're nuts.
kind of
They're both insane.
they're both
And this whole
insane.
trial is about their personal life and their fights, which most of us have really weird fights, but both of them have been recorded saying all kinds of bullshit, and it's all
Yeah.
bullshit on both sides. I don't know what's
Right.
going on. I don't
You
even care.
you put a drunk and an addict together in a relationship and this is what you get,
There you go. There you go.
you know?
Alcoholics and drug addicts.
Yeah.
They're gonna do some silly shit like shit on beds and throw glasses, magical glasses that cut fingers off.
And write in and use your severed finger to write on mirrors, which has to be like to me is even weirder than the bed shitting stuff, right?
I did not.
I
Wow.
actually find that weirder that when his finger gets severed. He dips it in blue paint and uses his severed finger to write on the walls. Is
That's some psychotic shit right there.
psycho
Wow.
fucking shit, right?
Yeah.
Um yeah, I agree with you, Monte Cristo. He says Depp championed the cause of the Satanist child rapist murders so he can go fuck himself. I'm not sure which cause that would be, unless we're just talking Hollywood in general. But thanks, Hervoge. But hello, George. We're going to try to get out of here in time for me to make your stream, which I already promoted at the beginning of this one.
What? You scheduled another stream after this one? Or wait
I'm
a
going
minute.
to, yeah,
Aren't
not
we supposed to
you.
go for
You're
3
not
hours?
invited. You're not
Aren't we supposed to
invited on
go?
George's
What do
stream.
you mean I'm not invited? Who the hell am I? I
You're
thought we've
only,
known each other for years, and now you're acting like you
I
barely
had
know
you
me.
blocked for years. Now you're just co-host. Hello, Final Fight guy.
Excuse me, I have a name.
No, you're just
Zeno. Zeno's my name.
Final Fight guy says, I find it hard to care about the personal dealings of a pair of multimillionaire adults with addiction problems. There are no winners there. It's a career damaging mess all around. And I
agree with that.
Fully and totally agree with you. I really do.
I agree more.
It's nice to see you around, Final Fight guy. Thanks for stopping.
These guys are rich. Whoever loses, it doesn't matter. It's just a drop in the bucket. They're still going to be rich after this.
Yeah.
It's just a popularity contest. It's just like who can insult the other one, make the other one look bad. And what's happening now is that everybody looks bad.
Yeah, everybody looks bad.
And Virginia, this whole case in Virginia is embarrassing. Virginia, the place of the law, the FBI. This is like a stain on their reputation. These actors shouldn't be here. This should have been done in Hollywood. Nobody gives a fuck. These people in Virginia are me looking at both people, saying both of them are insane.
Yeah, I couldn't go 3 hours for a stream if I tried SJW Captain America. It's painful enough to get past an hour.
When is the stream ending?
Whenever we're done. And Hervoge is determined and has been insistent since the beginning that Depp will win. I don't
see how.
I don't know, honestly.
No one's gonna win.
Yeah, we see all this stuff out here in the real world, right? That the jury's never gonna see too. They're never gonna see so much of what we do on Twitter.
Jury is probably not even these poor people in the jury probably don't know what to think after seeing these crazy things. Amber Heard lying on the stand, crying with no tears, Depp taking like years to get out a sentence.
That's the weirdest
they don't
thing.
know what to think of these people.
I'd watch his testimony on double speed, and it sounded like a normal person talking. It was the strangest thing ever.
Yeah, that's all.
But enough about that. Jeez.
Yeah. This is awful. Yeah. Nobody wants to hear about this Depp stuff.
Nah, I think we should argue about Star Trek instead.
Oh, Vicky, you've been watching Star Trek?
I have not, Zeno, but I hear you have.
Barely,
so you tell me
actually.
Anyway.
Barely. I've been watching Game of Thrones because I've been very late to the party. No spoilers.
I'm gonna spoil the shit out of that for you.
Okay.
Everybody dies.
I doubt it. But someone has to live, right? Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Anyway. Star Trek. We're talking about Star Trek and how much Star Trek Discovery is really good. And how this Strange New World series, this new one, the Adventures of Pike and Spock, apparently people have been talking that it is Star Trek at its finest. Star Trek is finally back. It's like back to the old days. It's not heavy-handed like Star Trek Discovery is. There's some humor to it. There's adventure, and it's well written.
I'm hearing mixed reviews, but most of the stuff I hear that's negative comes from the same people that seem to hate everything.
Oh, like Comicsgate and Fandom Menace.
Yeah, mostly Fandom Menace. When they talk about Star Trek, they mostly, they're still worried about frickin' Star Wars and arguing
And Star
about.
Wars. Star Wars is over. They say. I see people in the comments, not here yet, but in George's comments. But anyway, other YouTube channels they say Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is dying. How is it dying when it's like selling so much? Oh, Disney is losing billions. They still owe money for the purchase of Star Wars Lucasfilm, but
Well,
that was a long time ago. That they're not in debt anymore.
Disney's losing money. One, because of the pandemic.
Well, that the whole hey, everybody's losing money if that's the case.
They're losing money because of what happened down in Florida. Disney's
Well,
losing money for a
that's a
lot of
different
reasons that
that's a
don't
different thing. They're not
that
losing money because of Star Wars though.
I don't think they're losing money because of Star Wars. I don't know that they're making a shit ton of money or as much money as they'd hope to make off of Star Wars. I think, there comes a time when franchises just should be allowed to die. I know that sounds horrible.
Star
We can
Wars will never die. You sound very nihilistic right now, and
Oh,
very
no, but you
cynical.
can always watch the
Star
old.
Trek, yeah,
There's
but Star Trek has
so
never died.
much.
And Star Wars and Star Trek, both of them are not going to die.
You just
Right
don't
now,
want Star
Star
Trek
Wars.
to die.
Well, Star Trek is is a revival right now. Before the series, it was just these movies, the three movies with Christopher Pine, right?
Yes, the
So
retcons.
no, they're not retcons.
They are retcons.
No, it's the no. That's the Kelvin universe.
I don't buy the multiverse Star Trek shit. I just can't. It's I mean, we
Do
had this
not. Well, why not? What do you mean you can't buy the
because to
multiverse?
me, and this is my opinion, when you retcon the story and you say that this is a multiverse, this is another universe, this is another timeline, it's just being fucking lazy. It's like it's if you can't uh write within the constraints of the universe that has been given, then you're a shit writer. If you need to come up with stuff that's, I mean, my God, we already knew they changed Khan, for Christ's sake, right?
Well,
Khan,
what do you
like
mean they changed Khan?
they
He's still the
they
same character.
he's still the
Just
same
because he's
character.
different actor, you
They
can't
change
change
it.
the actor.
They whip around the
I mean,
story and change it
well,
up.
that's because everything
Like
is like advanced 10 years later. Like
it's
the Kelvin universe, the Enterprise isn't built until 10 years later from the other universe.
Yeah, exactly. It's a way to skirt
So
continuity.
Khan's life, did other things. I
But
guess.
that's just like I said, that's lazy
Well,
storytelling,
so what? The mirror universe is lazy
right?
storytelling too.
That's
That's
one
a that's
episode. That's not
it's
taking an
not just one
entire
episode. It was
mirror.
one episode on the original series. Yes,
Right.
a few. I don't
Yeah.
know, one, two, three. I don't know episodes in Deep Space Nine. 6 episodes in Star Trek Discovery.
Yeah, it should have just stayed one episode on the original series.
I thought
In
you
my
loved Deep
opinion,
Space
and I
Nine.
love Deep Space Nine. Oh my God, Avery Brooks. Oh, Cisco is the
Oh,
dude.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, he's very hot. It doesn't matter though because that's part of the story. It's there is multiverse. It's canon. There's multiverses. But we're dealing with time travel with this Kelvin universe. It's very similar to the to Back to the Future and how that future was a different timeline. You know, Doc Brown explained it on a little chalkboard. How how when Biff found the almanac and changed history, changed the timeline, that it became a different timeline that ran parallel to the other one.
Different timelines
But
are
time
just
travel
silly.
is a big thing in Star Trek. There isn't one series that doesn't talk
Yeah,
about
I
time
know that
travel.
damn whale movie sucked.
Oh, that was my second favorite. That was awesome. What are you talking? It was humor. It was a good break from all of the heavy-handed drama of
Yeah, it
number
was
2 and 3.
funny.
It was
It,
fun. You
yes.
liked it. You love it. People say that to you. But
Scotty talking into the mouse was
yeah,
funny,
it's
right?
hilarious.
The
The whole
nuclear
thing was
vessels
hilarious.
thing, no, that is,
Yes,
bits of
yes.
it were funny, but the aliens coming to destroy us because of the whales
No,
we
no,
gotta
no, no.
take
There
them
was
back
no.
to the future
Excuse
is
me,
like,
but there was no
okay,
aliens coming to destroy us.
the whale ship,
There was
yeah, I
no
mean, yeah, it
aliens
was
coming
destroying
to
everything.
destroy us. They were coming to talk to the whales because they knew that was a smart race species on the planet Earth a long time ago. They talked to the whales, they had fun, then they left. And now they came back expecting Earth to have whales, but the whales were all hunted to extinction.
It
Since
was
the whales were
silly.
gone, the way they communicate with the whales is through the water, and it caused a bunch of storms,
It was silly.
messing everyone
The
up.
whole plot line was silly.
We needed to find some whales so they
Retrofit
could
the
talk to
bird of
them.
prey so they can transport a whale back to the future after they slingshot around the sun or whatever. It was silly.
Retrofit? What do you mean retrofit? I mean, they just put they welded some bulkheads together and put in some plexiglass. So what's wrong with that? The bird of prey is a big ass ship. It can hold some whales. That makes total sense. You're just nitpicking now. This is pretend. She loves the show. She loves the movie. Living
I
in the
have
finest
this thing.
directing.
I can still enjoy shit and think it's stupid and
There is a
silly.
lot of silly stuff in Star Trek over the years, including the original series, your and my favorite series.
Yes, I mean it's campy as all hell.
Remember the hippies?
I do remember the hippies.
The end. I love the ending though. That was really good. They all died because of the poison grass.
Yeah, that was kind of
Everything was
sweet.
poisonous. That was a
Everything
neat ending.
was
I wonder if they're trying to tell us something. Hippies were
probably.
bad.
They
Hippies
are
are
a little
bad.
stinky.
Stop being a hippie, kid.
I grew
Because
up
if
near
you
Berkeley. It's bad.
like, what are they saying? Don't smoke this weird weed. It might kill you, hippies. Kids, stop. Reefer madness. You know.
SJW America and Borgia are having a little conversation in the chat about Ryan Kinnell and G&G. And SJW Cab says, again, a self-professed geek and video gamer not knowing who Solid Snake is a confession of the lack of real cred. I don't even play those games, and I know who Solid Snake
Everyone
is.
knows who Solid Snake is.
How do you not
And
know?
you
They,
know? Never mind.
no, go
Or
ahead.
do you
No,
know? Do you know where Hideo Kojima got the idea for Snake?
why don't you tell me?
Snake Plissken? It was from
Well,
Escape from New York.
Escape from New York.
Yes.
And Escape from LA. There was another silly movie that I enjoyed like no
I
tomorrow.
loved Escape from LA. It was campy. It was like a retread of the first one. It was a satire of the first one.
Yeah, surfing down the LA River that's non-existent was pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The basketball, that was the basketball scene too, right? Where he had to play basketball.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
made that throw at the end. The Hail Mary at the end. And Bruce Campbell, the Surgeon General.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was a good one.
It was a comedy all the way through, and people took it seriously.
I remember when it came out and people were trying to take it all serious. Like, it's just a funny movie.
It had bad special effects, but I think that was part of the charm.
Well, the first one was kind of heavy. Like it was a heavier, more serious. Well, I mean, as serious as an action film like that could be.
No, it wasn't happy at all.
It
There was a little
wasn't.
bit of humor here and there, but
Yeah.
But no, it was super serious. Escape from LA. I mean, Escape from New York. All of the crazy people and all the murders going on. It was just one pretty straight. Isaac Hayes, the Duke of New York, a number one.
Yeah.
Damn, so good. But Escape from L.A. was just a satire of Los Angeles and all of the craziness that goes on there, and plastic surgery and
And the
selling your
cholos.
friend out, the Cholos, the Magic Kingdom. They couldn't get the rights to Disneyland, so they just call it the Magic Kingdom, which
Yeah.
basically that's what it is. Yeah, but John Carpenter John Carpenter and Kurt Russell intended it to be a satire.
I love John Carpenter movies.
Yep. Unfortunately, he lost his touch.
He really kind of did.
Children. Oh yeah, yeah. The
The
thing.
Thing was magnificent, right?
Mm-hmm.
The original Thing
Mm-hmm.
is one of my all-time favorite kind of horror movies. And I like it because,
Oh
everything
yeah, I love
happens.
that film.
Yeah, everything sort of happens off stage, and but Carpenter brought it like all out in front. And it was gruesome and weird all at the same
Yeah.
time.
Carpenter's vision was closer to the short story.
Yeah, much closer to the short
Did you read
story.
it? Did you read it?
Yes, I did.
Damn good.
Yes.
It's creepy and it's
But
gory.
it's still another example of a book that is not like the movie, or movie that's not like the book.
Hmm.
You know, like all
Well,
of them. I don't know why that happens.
they in the '50s era they couldn't make that movie.
No.
They just took the basic core of it, the alien and the snow and the
Now
mystery of
the
it.
the next one, the one with the chick, also called, I think it's still called The Thing.
It's a
Um,
prequel.
it's a prequel, but I
I
didn't
recently
really
watched it.
like it all that much.
I recently watched it. I rented it, and it was okay. I thought it was decent. It made a lot of sense. It was a prequel all the way through, but the special effects, when they use CGI, it loses a lot of
Yeah.
detail and realism.
And then
It wasn't
you didn't have
it
that.
wasn't as scary.
So
What
we
you
have
well, it didn't have what?
SJW Cap says Halloween, Escape from New York, The Thing, Assault on Precinct 13, They Live. He was on a roll until he made Vampire with asshole James Woods.
That wasn't too bad, but that's true. He started going down, and that
Yeah, that's when everything started going downhill.
didn't he do
Assault on
Children of the Damned as well? Because
I think
that was
so.
pretty awful.
They Live is one of the funniest movies ever made. I love that movie. Roddy Piper
Hmm. That was
is just
campy and
great.
great, of course.
Yeah.
Going back to The Thing, the prequel, it originally had animatronics for all of the creatures, but the studio execs said, "Oh, that's not good enough. We want CGI," and they digitally overlaid CGI over all of the animatronics. What a crime!
That is a crime.
It was really good stuff made by the studio that did the amalgamated something mechanics studio that did special effects for Alien 3, 4, and the AVP films.
Ah, I did not know that part. I don't pay that super close attention.
I did when I was younger. Nowadays, I don't really care how things are made. I already know.
Yeah, I miss Roddy Piper too. Um, Zeno doesn't watch wrestling.
I don't watch
And
wrestling except when I was a little wee child.
it's sad. He should.
I understand wrestling. Miss Vicky Verse here has instructed me what wrestling is all about. I don't know the stories, but I now understand the concept of this drama-filled, choreographed stunt work and everything. Show. It's a show. It's a drama. It's like a soap opera for youngins or something.
It's like
I don't know.
a soap opera for young men. pretty
Young
much.
men. Young men.
Yeah, it
Right.
always has been. It has been since the pro wrestling has been on TV continuously longer than any other thing.
What about Doctor Who?
Longer than Doctor Who.
So
Pro
in the
wrestling has been on TV
50s,
since the beginning of television. There has never been a time when pro wrestling wasn't on
pro
television.
wrestling was around in the 50s
Yes.
because Doctor Who was in the 60s.
Pro wrestling has been around since the early 1900s in the form that
I'll
we know
take
it
your I'll
now.
take your I'll take your word for it because you are the great Vicky.
Yeah, I know
Whatever that means.
my wrestling history. Sorry.
Okay, so why aren't you watching Star Trek?
Um, I tend to be a binger and then I forget about stuff. So like I like to watch things all at once now. I've gotten spoiled by streaming services. And then I just kind of forget about it once the season's over until I'm reminded
Hmm.
again.
Hmm. Well,
Yeah.
what is your favorite Star Trek film?
My favorite Star Trek film would be The Wrath of Khan, followed by well, no, my favorite's actually the first one. My
Your
all-time
favorite
favorites.
all-time favorite
The
film
motion
is
Star
the
Trek
motion picture.
picture. Yeah, it's got
Now
that.
that's an
It,
unpopular opinion. Vicky.
it is an unpopular opinion. It's a little slow. It's very methodical. I love the soundtrack. I like the idea behind it. This probe sent out and it just does its thing for centuries, you know, like amassing this its own kind of world and powers and things like that. I kind of dig.
So
Um,
you dig it, but you don't dig number 4, which has basically the same premise.
yeah. Um, then Wrath of Khan, and then
Okay, Wrath of Khan.
Undiscovered Country, because
Really, really? Okay,
Christopher Plummer's a fucking god, and I dug him as a Klingon.
well, I would. Yeah, okay. Uh, number 6 was pretty good. Yeah, it wasn't as good as um, Voyage Home, but it was pretty good. I do like Christopher Plummer. Yeah,
Yeah.
my favorite is Wrath of Khan. My favorite is the trilogy: Wrath of Khan, Search for Spock, and The Voyage Home. One story condensed. One story, 3 movies, Star Trek trilogy. Great
Is that
story.
what you call the trilogy?
I call it trilogy because each one comes after the next one. It's a saga.
Yeah,
You
it
can't
is.
watch one without the others.
Then it goes downhill.
Number 5 is when it went downhill because Shatner was the director, and
And
he
and then
acted his way.
and then 6 with Nimoy
Well,
directing.
six wait, what 6 is your Plumber movie.
Oh wait, yeah. There's 5. That was
Nimoy
horrible.
directed 3 and 4,
Yeah.
and
That
that's it.
Shatner one was pretty bad. Him
Shatner
riding
was
the
weird.
horse all CGI'd and shit.
No, what? There was no CGI back then. I
They
don't think
touched him
anything.
up.
No, nothing was CGI. I don't remember him riding a horse that was CGI. If it was, I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
But he's an accomplished horse rider, so he'd be fine on a horse. He has a horse.
I know, he has like a
Owns
horse
horses.
farm. He does
Yeah.
he works with some sort of charity as well. Um
Oh
for
yeah.
horses. Yeah. Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. I like his Twitter. I like when he fought with the shippers. Like he likes to fight with shippers on Twitter. I don't know if he still
Mm.
does it, but he used to. It didn't matter what the series was, he would fight with them.
Well, I do
Yes.
love
See?
the motion picture as well.
Final Fight
Final
guy
Fight guy
agrees.
says Undiscovered Country and motion picture remain favorites. Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
still
like them all, but I even like number 5. There's parts of it that I like,
I like to just put on the
but
soundtrack
not
for
all of it.
motion
The
picture and listen
soundtrack to
to
motion
it.
picture was the first soundtrack I ever bought
Really?
on a record. Yeah,
Nice.
12-inch record.
On a
It's worth it.
record, an
Yeah,
actual
yeah.
on
Well,
vinyl
that's because I
back in
bought it when it
the
was new.
day.
Yeah, back in the
Yeah,
day. That's the
I
only
had
thing
it
it
on.
came. Well, maybe it came on cassettes as well. I don't know, but I only bought the vinyl because
I
we
had it
had a
on vinyl.
record player.
Yeah, I had it on vinyl too.
Listening to it, looking through the album cover has all the little pictures from the movie.
Yeah,
The beginning with scene with the Klingons. That's my favorite track.
we're both too old.
Oh yeah, we are. I guess so. We can
Yeah,
teach these youngins what it was like in the past when the internet wasn't a thing and portable phones did not exist.
make
I,
people go back outside and play.
yep. I believe the
Yeah,
first portable phone that I knew about is when the family got a portable phone for the car. A car phone, it was called. Specifically designed for
specifically
cars.
called the car phone. My dad got
Yes.
one, and the
Yes.
box that they put in the trunk for that thing was gignormous. Like, it had the biggest box it mounted in the trunk, and you had to go and have it specially wired up so they could put the
Yeah, yeah.
phone right there in the console.
It
And
was right there in the middle of the console.
yeah, yeah. I think one of
Yeah.
the first ones I ever saw, that was sort of, quote, "portable" was in Lethal Weapon, when they're
Hmm.
up on at the beginning of the movie, they're up on that overpass, and, Danny Glover whips out this, it's like the size of a small suitcase. It was an actual cell phone, and starts talking on it.
Yes, yes.
That showing my age
That
yet
was fun.
again.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Do kids today ride their bicycles?
Um, I don't see them, but I live downtown in a rural
Hmm.
place, so it's possible. I don't know.
We rode our bikes everywhere before we were old enough to get cars. And if we wanted to go to another town to go to the shop, toy store, model place, we'd ride our bikes across town
No, I
and
never.
then ride
I
back.
always
We
lived
didn't
out
have
in the.
mommy drive us. We went all over the place.
Yeah, those
To
were
the
the days,
beach,
weren't it?
rode to the river. Uh,
Yeah, it's time to go. We're getting way too nostalgic.
Time to go.
But
We've only been here for 59 minutes, not even an hour, Vicky.
by the time we're done saying goodbye to everybody, thanks so much, everyone, for stopping by. Everyone who's still here, Vorje, Thomas S., SJW Cap, Final Fight Guy. It was nice seeing you again.
Did everybody leave? Were we alone?
Probably. There's only 10 people watching, and those are the only ones that are still like active in the chat.
People got bored. We got to come up with some better topics, I guess, for our
Yeah,
next show.
the next show.
If anybody has any ideas for topics, leave them in the comments.
Yeah.
That's a great
Zeno
idea.
has no idea. You want to talk? SJW Cap says World Wrestling Federation.
WWF.
He'll
I
have
saw
nothing to
some of those
contribute.
episodes. I know what World Wrestling Federation was. They changed that. That was a good name.
It was a good
I
name, but
watched a couple of episodes when I was a kid. By Thomas. I watched a few episodes as a kid before my great grandmommy told me it was fake. And it was called World Wrestling Federation.
It
It had
was.
Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper.
Yep.
I remember.
Good night, everybody. We'll catch
Good
you
night.
next time
This is it.
around.
You're saying goodbye.
Yep, we're saying
Just come out of
goodbye.
nowhere. I'm having a conversation with the chat, and you're saying goodbye.
It's an
Good night,
hour.
everybody. So we can't go over an hour now. It's an hour and 1 minute and 5 seconds.
Yep.
Is something bad gonna happen? Are you gonna get in trouble?
I'll turn into a pumpkin or a raving bitch because I haven't had a cigarette.
Well, I hope it's a pumpkin.
Yeah, one
A
or the other.
Raving bitch isn't pretty, people.
No, it's
I've
not.
seen it behind the scenes.
People have already seen it. Trust me,
Oof.
they've already
Oof.
seen it.
Oof! It hurts.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
I'm still bleeding.
Everybody have a great night.
Good night, everybody. afternoon, wherever you may be.